Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're going to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, kind of lost my voice here over the weekend, so I will try to get through this now. Disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must run their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Alright, everyone. First one I want to bring up is Li Auto. Happy Memorial Day as well. So now, if you come to these June 20 strike calls, there is about 30,000 options that traded here, pretty much in the blink of an eye. You know, open interest of about 3,400. You know, that ratio is not too favorable, but you know, I don't really put a lot of weight on the ratio of volume to open interest. You know, unless I'm doing, you know, those types of scans, you know, where I'm looking for a high volume to open interest ratio. Now, 30,000 option contracts trade here. There were some big orders down in the time sales. You know, this Li Auto is a Chinese electric vehicle company. You know, if you guys are active in the stock market, you'll know that some of these EV plays have been under extreme pressure. Now, this June 20 strike call is extremely far out of the money here. You know, these are only 30 cents, but it's a very low probability trade because for this trade to be profitable on expiration, the stock needs to be below $20 a share on June 18th. Now, that is coming up pretty soon here, so this is a short-term option. We only have a few weeks for this trade to work out here. Now, you know, if I get a nice profit in this one, you know, especially a double, I'm definitely going to be taking it off the table. If I get a 50% profit, probably take it off the table as well. Now, you know, it's very unusual that they're buying this far out of the money call because it's a very low probability trade, but it's a better return on investment. So if a far out of the money call, you know, is a better return on investment, but it's a lower probability trade. So if you are right, it's below $20 on June 18th. You know, if you sell it before then, you know, you're going to make a better return on investment than buying this 23 strike call, but it's a lower probability trade. Now, I bought the 23 call, sold the 20 call, so we're in a vertical spread, as I talk about on this channel that I do most often here. Now, this stock has been under a lot of pressure. It peaked out at around this 50 level and just has been trading sideways ever since then. You know, I do like the chart on the put side here, because remember, these are puts. I usually talk about calls, but you know, there's a lot of puts that just traded there. My mistake if I said calls before. Those were puts that we're talking about. So yeah, you know, this, I do like the chart on the short side here, the put side. You know, it looks like it kind of has a steep drop off, then kind of, you know, rallies a little bit, then drops off again, has a little rally, drops off, and you know, this thing has come up quite a bit here, and we are looking pretty overbought here. You know, this MACD is showing some strength here, but you know, I think we could see a rollover in Li. And the people that are buying those puts definitely agree. So, next one I want to bring up is SOXL. Now, this is the SMH bull 3 times bull ETF. So it moves 3 times the price action of the SMH. Three times both in the positive direction and the negative direction. Now, there has been some aggressive action in this semiconductor ETF. Now, there's about 31,000 contracts traded here of these June 48 strike calls. You know, you can just come in here and see all of this volume. 21,000 contracts, 11,000 contracts, 31,000 contracts. You guys get the picture. You can see it on the screen there. Now, you know, I am not in these options because I have a lot of semiconductor stock exposure. The semiconductor sector is probably one of my favorites. You know, it's a reopening trade, it's a lockdown trade. You know, depending on what stocks you're in, you know, it's a really diversified business in technology. And you know, stocks like Nvidia and AMD are revolutionary in my opinion. And I have a lot of my portfolio is in semiconductor stocks. So I don't think there's really a need for me to jump into this semiconductor ETF here on the option side. You know, I just want to say something really quick. That's kind of, you know, if I have a lot of exposure in my portfolio to, say, semiconductors, and there's unusual options activity in like a semiconductor ETF, I usually will try to stay pretty diversified and not jump into those semiconductor options, because I have a lot of stocks that are made up of this semiconductor ETF is made up of. So I'm always keeping in mind the diversification of my portfolio. And obviously I would like to see this semiconductor ETF go higher, because I have some large stock positions in some of the stocks that make up this ETF. So just a quick note that just because there's unusual options activity in something, if you have a lot of stock in that sector, in my opinion, it might be wise to just hold off on those options, because you do want to be staying diversified. Diversified is the only free cent that you can get. Now, this thing is pretty volatile here. It has big moves on the day. You can see some of these candles, they're like 4 or 5 point fluctuations in a day, 3 to 4 point fluctuations in a day. I do like that this thing has pulled back. I would say the time to get in this semiconductor ETF was around the 200-day moving average. And they were buying calls. I just have not brought it up on this channel. So, take a look at this one, everyone. This one might be a good one in my opinion. But always remember that I'm not a financial advisor or anything. I'm just here to talk about what I do, and how I learn from it, and hopefully you guys can learn from it. So, this is just for educational purposes. So, thanks for everyone who's been subscribing. I really appreciate it. Make sure to keep subscribing up. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you got any suggestions or anything. I really appreciate the last suggestion that somebody left down in the comments below. So, I appreciate all the love, everybody. Thanks for helping me grow this channel. Just trying to bring good content to people that are learning options. Because if I had something like this when I was learning options, a YouTube channel I can go to and somebody I can ask questions to, I would have really appreciated it. So, thanks to everyone who's been subscribing. I'm really grateful for all the love. We'll see you in the next one, everyone.